Hi guys! So it's been a bit and I've honestly been going crazy during this quarantine. I have so little to do. My main time has been spent making the antlers for Xerneas. We're still working on a lot of those because I'm not even done with one half of those antlers. They're so big. But before all of this started, I had sent in two of my machines for getting serviced. They still have yet to come back. So I decided, let's go out and get a new sewing machine. Yes. Do I need it? Probably not. However, I have been meaning to upgrade for a while as the two that are in the shop are getting rather old. One of them is probably on her last leg. They're not even sure if they can fix her, while the other one has just been used and abused as my trusty reliable workhorse. I still have Goliath over here, but she is always set aside for projects that require her. For instance, anything of mine that has leather or very thick projects, because even when I go slow, she has a tendency to shred thin fabric. I don't know why. I've taken it to the shop. They can't figure it out either. So she's just reserved for those permanently. I do also have one of my other babies over here. I can't use her until I make a full-on table because she is that old. So we figured this is the perfect opportunity to get me a new toy that I desperately need. Otherwise, when conventions do start up, I'm not going to have a full cosplay to debut. And I really want to have something new to compete in. Yes, it's getting me that bad. So, I shopped around for a while, mostly online, of course, trying to figure out what's going to work the best for me. A lot of people were suggesting brands like Husqvarna, Baby Lock. Of course, there was the usual ones I went to look through, like Brother and Singer, because my main two machines are both Brother machines. They've been quite reliable for me for many years. I had my first ever sewing machine when I was in middle school. Before that, I would hand sew literally everything I was making. I loved it, but I also hated it. I still don't like hand sewing, and I've been having to practice embroidery. Brings back so many memories, especially since what I want to embroider, I can't exactly make a large enough embroidery file to do. So, we're going to get this baby cracked open. I am quite excited for it. We went for, the Jubilant from Baby Lock. I got some pretty great reviews on this girl when I asked about her on some of the cosplay forums. I also ended up going over to one of the quilting forums. I never thought I'd be on one of those, but those little old ladies really know what's up when it comes to some of these machines. Like, they know their stuff. Alright, let's see. Power cords. And it looks like it takes the same kind as my other machine, so I will probably put this newer cord in my box with the rest of them. I like to only have one cord unwrapped at a time, just so I don't have them strewn all over my workspace. It gets very distracting. Let's see, Model T, okay. It also uses the exact same foot as my other one. I have heard that apparently Baby Lock is owned by Brother, so that might be why. Either way, I'm happy about that. It really helps me. Of course, our usual odds and ends. Not bad. They even gave me that Lexi fishnet stuff. I know the name for it, but it's not coming to me. Alright, that looks like... Hold on. What are you? Machine cover? Question mark? I'm hoping it's a machine cover. Yes, we have a blanket to tuck her in at night. I'm going to have to remind myself to use this because I have a couple others that I don't quite use very often. Ooh, it even has a hole for her handle. Nice. Normally, I have this old bridesmaid's bag I was given to my best friend, and I'll usually put my sewing machine in that bag, pack whatever project I'm working with around it whenever I need to travel for a sewing weekend with the girls. Oh, God. Once all of this is over, I need another sewing weekend. Oh. Apparently some assembly will be required. I'm just going to crack this stuff open as we go. Why not? Looks like this is our... Okay, it has all of my stitches on here. And if this will undo, I'm assuming these two attach somehow. We're not going to worry about that yet. We're going to put all this to the side. Oh, I didn't notice it first. Bubble wrap! I love it when they give me bubble wrap. Back to focusing. I'm just going to lay everything over here on top of our bag for now, because that's really the best plan of action I have. Let's see. Guide. I will cut this open just in case. That reminds me, while I was actually there picking up this new machine, the little old lady working the counter, she also gave me this really nice book. It is a full accessory and software guide for the machine. It comes with a bunch of different information for all their different models. So I can actually go through what equipment I already have and see if it's compatible with this machine. Supposedly, most of my stuff I already have is going to work with Jubilant. I also have to think of a name for her. I'm wanting to stick with something that has a J to it. So by the end of this video, we'll put up a couple of naming ideas. I'll set out some polls on probably Instagram and Facebook just to see what you guys think her name should be. And we'll give her a new name. No matter what, I think it should start with a J. I am neutral when it comes to naming my machines. They can be either girl names or boy names. Oh. Okay. That does not want to release. Come on! Alright, we gotta stand up for this. Alright. Jubilant out of the box. Oh, there we go. Come on. We now have a handy dandy display table. Alright, Jubilant. Let's get you open. Yeah, the more I say it, the more I don't like Jubilant as a name. So I am really going to need to think of one. Jabril. Jabril. I like that. No Game, No Life is one of my favorites, and I've been planning to cosplay Jabril eventually. So, that could be a name for this one. I already have Goliath for a name for our old girl over here. My serger over there, her name is Sarah. Her name's been Sarah ever since I bought her. I don't know why, she just seems like a Sarah. Ooh. Come on. Let go of each other. Yeah. Yeet. Come on. One more. Oh. We're gonna put her up here so you guys can see. Aw. Even fresh out of the box, she looks so nice. Ooh. She's got that fresh machine smell too. Very nice. Let's see. I'm gonna bring you guys closer. That way you can see more of this fun too. Cause, oh my gosh, I am so excited. Let's see. Alright, let's get up close and personal with Jubilant here. So, she is their baby lock. Her official machine name, model, whatever you want to call it, is Jubilant. And I'm already liking her. A few of the key things I was requiring in any machine I got is it had to have the push button for the reverse. I really hate the levers just because then you have to sit there and hold it. If you use the push button, it'll constantly go backwards until you don't need it anymore, which that is a big, big plus. The only thing I don't believe she has was the automatic cutter, which I really wanted that, but she at least has all of the other features I was looking for in a sewing machine. Like, God, all of these stitches over here, very, very happy about. I'm going to be peeling off this tape from her for a while. She's got the automatic thread cutter. Another thing that I was specifically looking for when I was checking out machines is it needed to have the free motion capability, because as some of you guys have seen on my previous costumes, all of the embroidery on my Bakugo was done using free motion embroidery. It takes a lot of time, but it is definitely worth it. I am much better at that kind of embroidery than I am at hand embroidery, which is why I'm working so hard to get better at my hand embroidery skills. Xerneas has some beadwork in there that I am already dreading, and I haven't even started most of it yet. I've mainly done the antlers, and I've cut out all the patterns and pieced out everything for drape drafting my coat and my corset. Now with this, I'm going to finally be able to get some real progress photos for you guys. So excited. I'm also planning to try out something new on taking some progress videos. These will likely be happening whenever I do a fitting, just to test things out, see how it works, and we'll be posting those up on both Instagram and Facebook, of course. I'm hoping Facebook allows me to do those. I have no idea how the platform will react yet. Let's see. We're going to get a little bit more of this off of here. Hello. Neat. Ooh. I do have to test out the bobbins and see which type they are, because I know mine aren't going to fit every single machine. I hope these ones will be compatible, but I'll have to wait and see. Come on, open that up. Ah. Seem to have more goodies. Yeah, these look like about the same size as my other machine. I'm definitely going to double check on these because, as I hope some of you know, you don't mix bobbins if they're not the right type. They even gave me some different feet that I'm going to have to test out and see what I can do with them. I already have like a 90-piece set in my drawers over there. And honestly, I have used almost every single foot in my arsenal, which also made me quite happy when they gave me this book over here, because in it there are a few feet in here I have never tried before, which made me quite excited. Like, oh, let me see if I can find one of them. Here we go. It is a laser embroidery, embroidery foot with a laser LED pointer. That thing sounds awesome, and I would love to give it a try, especially seeing as how some of the designs I want to give a shot are very intricately detailed, and if I put the needle down in the wrong place, that is going to screw me over royally. We'll see how it goes, though. I'm looking forward to it a lot. Whew. Plus, using this book, I can go through what feet I currently have, and if they're going to be compatible, I can mark them off. Then whenever I go to buy a new foot, I can go through here and be like, okay, I have this one already, or I don't have this one already. That's going to be essential for me, because I do like to buy little accessories for my machines all the time. The only one I don't really buy many new accessories for is Goliath over there, but that's because she's extremely hard to shop for. Most people who have extra parts for them want to sell them for a very high price. And I still have fabric I need to buy for costumes. So hopefully someday I can get one of those kits. Oh, right. Of course, another thing I needed when I was looking for it, this piece had to come off just because shoulders, collars, wrists, all sorts of cuffs and everything. This makes it 10 times easier to face those down, because top stitching them makes them look so good, and I will probably never stop doing that. And honestly, I hate it when I have to kind of circle it around here instead of here. It just, I don't know, it makes it so much harder to do and work on those. Thankfully, this one also has the drop feed dogs, which helped me so much. You really need the drop feed dogs. I recommend them a lot, especially if you're somebody like me who prefers to do some of your own detail work. It lets you actually get in there. Like, I have an embroider hoop I like to use, and that's how I do a lot of my free motion embroidery on a machine. You get the hoop under here with your fabric, and you hand the fabric around. You move the fabric around with your hands just to put it in your designs. The main way that we did our Bakugo sleeves was all done by that. Takes a while, and it is definitely something to spend a lot of time practicing on. I would personally put that up there with a tambour beading. Each one has its perks and each one has its drawbacks. You just have to figure out which one works for you and your style. Oh, looks like they come with them preloaded. Alright, now these two babies here. I have no idea where these go. I don't think they attach. So my next best guess is I can probably put this up somewhere. Oh. Okay, so it does attach. Voila! I do kind of like this just because it has all of the stitches down here, but even bigger. I also really went with something new on this machine, as this dial here controls which stitch I'm using, which might get annoying when I have to go from like stitch number 1 all the way to stitch like 30. That might get to be slightly annoying in the future. No idea. We're gonna figure it out. I also was able to get one with the variable speed, and this one has the start and stop button, so if I want to, I can go without my foot. I like doing that a lot, actually. I know when I first got one of my machines that could do this, I never used it until I lost my presser foot. So then I had to learn to use it without, and I actually enjoyed it so much that I do it like that most of the time. The main days I don't use that technique is if I'm doing something like the bones for my corsets. I will always use my presser foot for those because I don't want to jab a needle into a bone. It is very consequential and it sucks when I do it. Well, I think it's about time that I get some sewing done, so thanks for sitting with me on this little unboxing. I hope you guys had fun. Main name I can think of right now is Jabril. So I'm going to put out a poll, and if you guys have other naming ideas, send them to me there. We'll hopefully have a new name for this baby by Friday. Wait, that's tomorrow. Alright, you guys have until tomorrow to pick a new name for her.